Hello everybody, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. Welcome and thank you for joining me today for what feels like a very important video that I'm about to make. It's going to be different from what I normally do. I view this more as a teaching video, so I make no apologies for the fact that it might be long. I might even do it in two parts. In fact, I definitely will be doing it in two parts, I'm just being told, because this video, part one, is going to be more about information, and part two will be some exercises to help you prepare for what is this ascension wave which is happening across our great planet this September 2015. But indeed, this video can be watched at any time when you are walking your ascension path and feel as though you are on the brink of a threshold, wanting to go through a golden gateway. But it's primarily tuning into this month's energies of September 2015. It also follows on from Matt Kahn's work, who a year ago started to talk about September the 27th as a date that he channeled and was given as the date where the first wave of ascension would be completed. So if you haven't watched Matt's video, I will put it as a link below this one. And maybe you can watch that in conjunction with my video, because I'm really hoping to just expand on some of those themes from Archangel Metatron's perspective, who is the angelic being that I work with. And those of you that follow my work know that Archangel Metatron is the energy which is helping all of us as we shift vibration, we walk our spiritual path in these times that we're in. It may also help you, if you haven't seen any of my work up to this point in time, to watch a couple more of my videos, particularly the one linked to Merkaba. It's really easy to find. Just go to my channel, Amanda Ellis 11, which you are on anyway. Type in Merkaba on the Google search bar and you'll find it. Because I'm going to be talking about Merkaba probably at some point over the next two videos. I'm also going to be talking about Ascension, because obviously this is what these series of videos are about. Again, there is another video that I've done about Ascension. Again, you just need to find it on my channel if you don't understand that concept, because I'm assuming that you do. Okay. First thing I want to do is just light a candle. I've got a beautiful blue candle here which I just want to light to invite in Archangel Metatron's energy into our session today. And as I say, this feels more like a teaching session, so you need to settle down, maybe have some water, a notebook if you want a notebook, just to maybe write down some salient points. I've prepared really for this session, and it started last night. I started to receive a whole download of information from Metatron. I'll just show you a little exercise book that I started to scribble in last night as I was going to sleep, because it was just pouring, the information was just pouring down. These are salient points that Metatron wants us to cover today, but indeed there may well be other things as well, because I will go into some direct channeling, but these are important to include as well. So I'll be referring to my book. I've also chosen some cards for September 2015, particularly linked to this ascension wave and trying to understand what it is all about. Okay, I'd like to just spray one of my colour sprays just to again set the energy, and then we're going to go straight into some teaching. And the colour that I'm drawn for us all to tune into is lavender, and this is linked into the soul star chakra above the top of our heads, around about here. Now the soul star chakra has been activated and opening more and more over the last few years with all of you, so that you are able to receive new information and downloads of energy into your body. And we've really got to pay attention to our soul star chakra over the coming month. So let's just open ours up. I'm spraying this violet around me, and this is the lavender soul star energy spray for those of you that have got the sprays. If you haven't got the sprays, don't worry. I would just like you to imagine now a beautiful lavender light coming down around you and in particular shining a beautiful pulse light right onto the soul star, activating that and just really feeling it starting to throb, open up to receive this information. I'm also going to put yellow with that as well, which is the complementary colour, and yellow helps us with our rational mind. It helps the mind to settle, to digest this information, because the first thing that Metatron is saying to me here is that our ascension path is very much about us opening our hearts, staying in that, and seeing and sensing from our heart. But we not only carry our physical body with us through this ascension process, we carry our mind as well. So we don't leave our mind behind, and it's really important to remember that. I'm making this video 24 hours after I wrote a piece on my Facebook page about the passing of two great men on the same day. One was Dr. Wayne Dyer, who many of you I know will know his spiritual teachings, gave an awful lot to this world in terms of the metaphysical, trying to understand things from the intuitive self, the higher self, and linking us into our divineness, our I am presence. And on the same day that he died, another man in England, Oliver Sacks, a leading prominent neurologist who spent all of his life studying the workings of the brain, coming at it much more from a scientific, animalistic perspective. These two great men passed on the same day, and I feel there's a message there, which is the union between our mind and our heart is important. So that's the first thing I want to say. So just linking into both of those. The mind has had too much say over many generations and millennia. It is what has got us as a species into trouble, in that we have tried to understand at the expense of our heart and our intuition. And we are now, yes, shifting into a world which is more heart-based, but we still need the mental aspect as well. Okay, I'm going to go to my book here and just pick up a few little points that I've written down. Okay, the first thing Metatron is wanting us to think about is to take us back to 21st of December 2012. Now, I wonder how many of you were with me at that time, maybe watching videos I did, watching videos that other spiritual teachers did. We all went into that phase, Metatron is saying, with a sense of huge anticipation, excitement, and this is the important word, expectation. We went in with enormous expectation. There was also an incredible amount of confusion. There were leading teachers of the day who no doubt received the information that was right for that time, but that confused many people. Truly, Metatron is saying we weren't actually ready for the great shift that was due to happen on that day. Now, it happened in part, I'm being told, but the big wave that was expected to hit humanity did not occur. It was delayed. That is the word that I'm hearing. It was delayed. But it's like anything. What I'm being shown here is a woman about to give birth. So you can't delay a birth for that long, because there is just a natural pressure that builds up that will force that new life into the world. And so we are really on here, the 11th hour. In fact, it's gone past the 11th hour, and we're actually now approaching a time where this huge influx of light and love, which is the ascension wave, has to come through and has to be birthed. And it's going to be birthed amongst us, who are what we're calling the first wavers. The first wave who have come through this ascension process. And the words I'm hearing in my head from Metatron is, rather than September the 27th be a day of rapture and revelation, going back to biblical times where people saw great sights and angels appearing from on high, and whatever other expectations our mind has conjured up that comes with rapture and ascension. Rather than that, the word I'm getting is graduation. Graduation. I wonder how many of you watching this went through university or high school. I certainly went through university myself, and it was 4 quite difficult, hard years, and I eventually earned my degree. And that moment of graduation, where you actually go up onto the stage, you are dressed appropriately, you have your hat on, and you are given your certificate. And it is a certificate which acknowledges what you have been through on your path, but it is very much a key to a new future. It isn't everything. It is purely a symbolic graduating from almost what, from a spiritual perspective, is kindergarten into not just high school, but into the world at large. One thing that Matt talks about on his video is that you can't look around the world at the moment and expect to see necessarily the change that we want to see, because we are the change. We are the ones that are going to make this change, this ascension, come about for the rest of humanity. And so therefore we're the first to graduate. And so there is responsibility on our shoulders to, once we have graduated, after this process that we're all going to be going through in September, to start to share our skills, our knowledge, our love with others. Not in a preachy way, that's old 3D stuff, but in a way which is just about how we live our lives. So graduation is a key word here that Metatron wanted to talk about. He also wanted to refer back to 2012 and the fact that we weren't ready. There was too much anticipation, too much expectation around it. This date of September the 27th has sort of, Matt talked about it over a year ago, but for me, I've only just found it quite recently. For some of you, maybe you're hearing it for the first time today. That's sort of the way it was meant to be. It was meant to sort of creep up on us so that we didn't have too much time to dwell and again build up this great big well of expectation in terms of what may happen or what may not. It's true with anything that if you go into any experience in life with hype, anticipation and expectation, often you are let down. And it's because we've conjured up something that isn't necessarily real. This ascension wave that is about to hit us is going to be felt in a different way than we've ever felt it before. It's going to come through the heart, and it's going to be different for every single person. So you can't generalize it that X, Y, or Z is going to happen, because we will all respond to it differently. And over the course of this month, there are a number of things that are going to be happening. There's a partial lunar eclipse in, I think, the southern part of the world. South Africa, I know, is particularly going to be seeing it. And then we have a total lunar eclipse as well, a day after this September the 27th date. We've also got time doing things quite soon as well, clocks going back and things like that as well. Equinox as well. Right, I just want to look at my notes here because, as I said, there's a lot to go through today. Right. Okay, I want to just think about my words here before I say the next part. Metatron is reminding us that we are all warriors of light, that we are ready for whatever comes our way, but rather than being an army that is on the earth plane with weapons of destruction, we actually hold nothing in our hands. It is all here in our heart, and this is where the change is going to come from. We have lived in a world of duality since the creation of this planet. If you believe the biblical story of Adam and Eve, ever since the bite of the apple, that was when duality came into being. If you don't believe that, it doesn't matter. We live in a world of duality. We live in a world where there is always dark and light, and we live in a time where old systems are collapsing and new ones need to come in. This is generational change, is what I'm hearing. It is something that those of us that are still young enough, I'm nearly 50, so hopefully I will start to see it in my lifetime. Certainly in my children's lifetime they will start to see it. It's generational change that is coming as old structures fall away and new ones come in. Now this ascension wave that is coming, the graduation has to happen now, because there are big things that are about to happen in our world. Metatron is talking about two things in particular. One is economic. This isn't just to do with monetary systems, which are on the brink of complete upheaval. It is also to do with economic equality. Across Europe in particular, there is a tidal wave of refugees coming in to many, many countries, the UK being one, but it's not just the UK, who are fleeing persecution in places like Syria and places of war. What I was told last night is to remind all of us that what appears on the surface to be complete catastrophe is part of the wider plan for the awakening of this planet. What is it going to take for the next wave behind us, the next wave to graduate, to wake up to the unity consciousness and the energy of oneness that needs to exist on this planet and that will exist on this planet at some point in the future, in terms of future generations. And I'm not talking many, many generations. It feels like 2 or 3 this process will be done. He is asking us to look upon whether there are people dying in terms of refugee status, or whether they are dying through war and bombing in the world, or any other situation that is very dark on our planet at the moment, to start to see these people equally as warriors of light. For change to happen, the dark and the light need to do what they need to do. The light can only do so much. The dark also has to take its place on the stage to shake people to their, almost like their core, to realize that change has to happen. And it feels as though this graduation for the first wave of ascension is happening now, because there are big events about to play out on our planet that are going to be challenging and difficult. And so therefore we have to have earned our almost stripes to be able to be the leaders who help the next wave out of this darkness and this turmoil that is all around us. That is a really important point. Okay, the other thing that Metatron is talking about, just shifting my position here because I'm sitting cross-legged. The other thing that Metatron is talking about is natural disaster. I talked in my other September video of nature, feeling as though nature is going to be doing its worst. And I've still got, I picked the same card that's in my other September video up online at the moment. This is the one that talks about wind in particular, gales, more than gales, hurricanes. I feel as though I'm still getting that weather patterns are going to be very, very unusual, and that we need to brace ourselves for changes that are coming around natural disasters and also the economy. This is not to put fear into anybody's heart that is watching this video. The point is, if you're watching this, you are one of the ones that is about to graduate and ascend in a human body and stay on this planet to help other people through this whole process. There was a lot of confusion around 2012 about this whole point about staying in a body and ascending. And let's just talk a little bit about that. It is true, Metatron is saying, that what is happening here on the Earth has never happened before in any other galaxy or any other system. And by that, I mean that you, I, individuals, groups, communities have an opportunity to ascend, and that means to increase our vibration and live in fifth dimensional consciousness all of the time, whilst maintaining our physical body here on Earth. Now, around 2012, there was a lot of confusion that maybe, was this going to be possible? Were we actually going to dematerialize somewhere? Was there going to be a great exodus from this planet as we decided that we didn't actually want to stay? Let's talk about that. My guidance that I'm getting is that, well, okay, let's put it this way. Why would you graduate on the earth plane and do all this work to simply just disappear and not follow through on the whole purpose of the qualification, I'm putting that in brackets, that you have just obtained? So we are meant to stay, we are meant to help others, and by helping others, it doesn't mean we all have to become healers. It means we just stay in our family groups, our communities, and we help them shift through these changes. You're going to see in your own family groups and your own communities people who are going to be struggling much more with this, and who are going to have a completely different reality to you come the end of the year. This is really, we're getting to the nub of it now. What effectively happens as we go through this ascension wave this September is that those of us that graduate actually have a different experience and reality than those that are staying in 3D. That does not mean that we are somehow floating around on a cloud. It means that we're still here on the 28th of September, the day after this wave. I have a dental appointment with my children. I will still be going to that dental appointment with my children. I will still have to cook dinner and do the washing and everything else that we have to do to maintain our physical life here on this planet. But what will be different is that my reality will have completely shifted into a fifth dimensional consciousness. For some of us, this isn't going to be such a huge change, because for some of us, we're already walking around a lot of the time in 5D. We're not in 3D anymore. But for others, it's going to be more noticeable. It's almost as though the times when, what's effectively been happening over the last couple of years in particular, is that as we have been awakening more and more and doing more inner work on ourselves and raising our level of consciousness, the times when we have slipped back to a 3D mentality, whether that be in victimhood, whether it be in poverty consciousness, whether it be in stepping back into drama and all the anguish that goes with that. There are many, many examples of 3D consciousness, whether it be to do with valuing ego and materialism over spirituality, whatever it is. It's almost as though we've been able to notice when we've done it and be able to lift our vibration back up to living in 5D, coming from the heart, coming from love, seeing everything through that unity consciousness. And what's going to happen in the new reality for us post September is that we're going to be living that 5D all the time. We're going to have so few occasions where we maybe slip back into those old patterns. I'm being told that when we are allowed, that's the word coming through very loud and clear, when we are allowed to slip back into 3D, it will be for a reason. It will be to do with the fact that maybe we actually need to lower our vibration to a degree to have empathy with others or to help somebody else that we are needing to help, but we won't stay in it for very long. Truly, we will be living a 5D life. And you will be living with people, you will be working with people who are not in the same reality as you, but you will still be able to converse with them, but you're going to be able to see the disparity between different levels of consciousness so much more clearly. So that's a really important point. I'm also being told that we might start to feel real physical changes in our body. I wear glasses, for example. I've worn glasses or contact lenses since I was 15. My eyes aren't particularly strong. I was told this morning that things like eyesight, hearing problems, it's not that suddenly we're going to be able to throw our glasses away or our hearing aids away, but I think we will start to, our weaknesses will become less. That's what I'm being told. Colours will become brighter. We'll be able to see different types of colour. As I say, everyone is going to experience this differently. I would like at this point just to send a wave of energy out to those of you that are still watching this. Hopefully you are. Hopefully I have expressed what Metatron wanted me to say in this first video, so that you can understand where I feel what I needed to say to you today. I'm just looking at some colours below me. It's what I'm tuning into, and just feeling for the colour that I need at this time to send out to you. And it feels as though it's got to be the two main players, I guess, in my set that I make. Sandalphon, bronze, which is the Earth Star energy, and flame, attunement and connection. I'm going to spray them both together, and I'm literally just going to send out a transmission now to your heart. So this is going to go heart to heart, and we are just going to allow Metatron to send through the beginning of this ascension wave for you as I make this video on the 1st of September. So this is going to be the start of it. It's going to build up through the month ahead. There are going to be some peaks along the way. The 13th is one, which is the partial solar eclipse. We have the 27th, which I've talked about, and then we then have the lunar eclipse on the 28th as well. So I'm just now going to tune into Metatron. If there's anything I feel I need to say further, I will, but I would just like this now to be a complete energy transmission. It will probably go on for maybe a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back, we'll thank Metatron, and we'll go into video 2. Okay, I'm going to take my glasses off just because I feel I want to. Okay, so just connecting into the bronze Earth Star energy. It is, of course, the Earth that is ascending at this time with us. We are literally just following her. And then we have the orange wave coming in over the top of that. Let's just sit back and receive the energy that Archangel Metatron wishes you to have at this time. Fifth dimensional consciousness is here. Fifth dimensional consciousness is within you. We congratulate you for the completion of what you set out to achieve years, months, or weeks ago. Time is irrelevant. Whether the path is short or long, you will reach the same destination and the same place, which is arriving back into the heart. Arriving back to your true self. Feel your Merkaba energy around you, the sheer strength of that. An upward pyramid of light, a downward pyramid of light, uniting together to make the star tetrahedron. Filled with multi-dimensional, multicolored light. Radiant, beautiful, flowing. Your world and your view of the world is about to shift and change. You are going to be seeing through new eyes, reborn, able to see only love, even where there is hate. Being able to see the divine in all situations. Being able to see the higher truth of all humanity, of everything that is being played out on this great planet, all part of the wider scheme. You are but one part of the greater cosmos. There is so much help coming your way from other star systems, galaxies, all of us willing you on. Success is already guaranteed. Those that stay in the dark should not be judged. They are on their own path just as you are yours. All is one. Hold the light for others so that they may find it within themselves. Truly I say unto you, great things are possible. Great times are coming. Look around you and see the world through new eyes. All is well. To prepare for this event on the 27th of September, lead a simple life. Keep your body as clean and clear as possible. And stay in your heart. That is all you need to do. All are included in this new pathway. All are included in this new ascended earth. I was reminded of the children and of animals as well, who are going to find it easier actually than some of us. The only way that it is going to be difficult is that if you stay into fear and if you build up too much expectation of what is coming. This is purely a new reality that many of you have been living in part already up to this time. But it is going to be something that becomes now the norm for a huge wave of people. And there is a truth that the more that unite in one energy, one thought, that ripples out in a huge way and magnifies everything 1,000-fold. That is what this September is about. Well done, fellow graduates of light. I'm going to leave it there for this video. There will be another one, not today. Metatron will tell me when to do it. It will be probably in a few days, or it might be in a week. But for now, that's the information that's coming through. There is one more thing actually I do want to say, which is that fifth dimensional consciousness is also about stepping out of judgment, hugely. And we mustn't judge other people's decisions and pathways at this time. Some will choose to leave this planet, who either don't want to make the shift, who don't need to, maybe they've done it before, not necessarily in human body form, but on a different galaxy. There are a wave of souls that may well go over the next few weeks and months, more than normal. And this is to be celebrated, not mourned. They are answering their soul's call in the same way that you are answering your soul's call to stay. And if you're watching this, you are staying. And you are here to help everybody else around you. And I, Archangel Metatron, are with you, will always be with you, and are never more with you than through this month of September. All you have to do is call on me, and I am there. Namaste.